Be Me 33 FCEO / founder of Hush Bloom Collective, boutique marketing shop. Our office lease is like $58,000 a month, because apparently exposed brick is a human right now. Floor-to-ceiling windows, plants everywhere, gender-neutral bathrooms with little safe space signs, drive a satin gray Range Rover that's been converted to electric, because of course it has. Every morning starts with a $19 functional mushroom latte and a cryo session, where I pretend I'm not dead inside. I am the walking Pinterest board of modern progressive success, graduated magna cum laude from Dartmouth, MBA from Kellogg, got shoved onto some 40 under 40 list for redefining feminine leadership in corporate ecosystems. I genuinely think I'm a visionary doing holy war against toxic workplaces, run a team of around 75 people hiring. Philosophy is culture, competence, demographics are like 70% women/non-binary, 30% men. The men are in the basement, figuratively. Although the dev pit has fewer windows, it's finance, back-end dev, and a couple sales dudes kept alive by commission. I see them as necessary infrastructure, like the air conditioning, important, loud, a little ugly, and best kept out of sight. Lately the AC has been rattling, can feel the vibe shifting, subtle undercurrent of resistance, not open rebellion worse. It's logic. Tuesday morning, strategy sync for a client called Luna Loop Menstrual Cup Startup. They want a campaign that screams revolution. Maya is presenting head of creative, 23, insanely talented but emotionally delicate, communicates mostly through mood boards and long stares. She's pitching this concept about reclaiming the lunar tides of the womb. It involves a 3-minute video of waves smashing into cliffs while a woman silently screams, "I adore it, visceral, raw, brave." I'm nodding like a bobblehead, feeling the synergy humming in my bloodstream. Then Greg raises his hand. Greg is lead data analyst, mid-30s, wears polo shirts, unironically, drives a beige Corolla, eats turkey sandwiches like it's a personality. The living embodiment of patriarchal mediocrity. "Yeah, Greg," I say, trying not to let the irritation leak into my voice. He clears his throat, that flatness, lifeless corporate tone that makes you want to chew glass. "I ran focus group comparisons for similar abstract campaigns," he says. "Engagement for scream imagery is historically low for this demographic. They respond about 40% better to clear visuals, diagrams showing leak protection, comfort, ease of use. They want to know if it works, not the ocean room goes dead quiet." Maya looks like she got punched in the sternum. She shrinks deeper into her oversized cardigan voice, tiny. "I thought the emotion was the point." I feel heat crawl up my neck. It's not even the data. It's how he used facts like a bulldozer over her lived artistic expression, the violence of objectivity. I lean forward, power pose, engaged. "Greg," I say, slow and sharp, "we aren't selling plastic cups. We're selling liberation. Your spreadsheet cannot quantify the spirit of a revolution. Please mute yourself. Let the women hold the space." He just blinks that blank, confused stare men get when you crack their worldview in half. "But the client KPI..." "I set the KPIs," I snap. Immediately regret the tone, not mindful, not regulated, but he forced my hand. "Just stop. Rest of the week." I'm on edge, hypervigilant, start noticing microaggressions everywhere. Like I took the red pill, but for feminism, see David hold the door for Jessica. Junior designer, benevolent sexism, implying she can't operate a hinge. See Marcus, our CFO, correcting a typo in a budget email Sophie sent. Sophie looks humiliated. Marcus doesn't even do a compliment. Sandwich just, "This is wrong, fix it," direct, abrasive, masculine communication. It hits me. Problem isn't a few bad actors, it's the operating system. Corporate America was built by men, for men. Efficiency, directness, hierarchy, tools of oppression dressed up as professionalism. I need to rewrite the code. I need to patch the system. Spend the weekend at my vineyard place outside Sonoma, sitting by the fire pit, sipping organic wine that tastes like smugness. Have an epiphany. Corporate policy is just a social contract, and contracts can be rewritten. Open my MacBook Pro, start typing a new doc title. Interpersonal Equity and Respect Agreement. IRA. It pours out of me like divine download. Clause 1. Right to emotional safety. Emotional comfort takes priority over factual correctness in any collaborative setting. Clause 2. Non-interruption mandate. Male employees follow a strict yield policy. If a woman is speaking, absolute silence until she verbally releases the floor. Clause 3. Impact over intent. A man's intention is irrelevant if a woman feels disrespected. The disrespect has occurred as a matter of fact. Clause 4. Affirmative listening protocols mandatory. 3-second pause before any male employee responds to a female colleague so he can fully process her contribution. Clause 5. Collaborative prioritization in any deadlock. The female perspective is the default tiebreaker to correct historical imbalance. Clause 6. Soft space mandate. Male employees must regulate volume and body language to remain non-threatening. Add more clauses because why stop at 6 when you can write a whole constitution? No crossing arms, no sharp gestures, no sudden movements. Basically a zoo safety pamphlet. But for dudes, Clause 7, no outside arbitration to preserve a family environment. Any dispute from this agreement gets handled internally. By me, signers waive the right to go to lawyers, labor boards, or any external agency. Read it back to myself. Absolute masterpiece, radical, bold, necessary. Feel like a founding father, except, the mother version. Monday morning, sunlight pouring through our reclaimed wood beams. Like the building is smug too. I'm buzzing call HR director into my office. Her name's Denise. 54, permanently tired, pragmatic to the bone. Always trying to gently talk me down from my visions. I slide the draft across the desk. Print this. 1 copy for every male employee, mandatory meeting at 2 p.m. Denise starts reading, her eyes get wider, line by line. She adjusts her glasses, her hand actually trembles a little. Ava, she says slow, like she's approaching a wild animal. This is extremely comprehensive. Clause 7, waives arbitration rights. Clause 2 specifically targets men. This creates 2 classes of employees. Legal is going to have a coronary. And this violates like a dozen sections of the Texas Labor Code. I laugh light and airy, the kind of confident laugh you do when you're sure you're the main character. Denise, you're stuck in the old paradigm. Those laws were written by men to protect men. We're a private company. Texas is at will. If they don't like the culture we're building, they can leave. I'm not firing anyone. I'm asking them to commit. Just print it. She hesitates. Looks at the doc, looks at me, looks at the door like it might rescue her. I really think we should consult. Denise, I cut in. Smile still on voice suddenly cold. Do I need to find an HR director who aligns with my vision? Her face drains. No, tiny voice. No, Ava. I'll print them. 2 p.m. the sanctuary. That's what we call our main conference room, because we're insufferable beanbags. Only no table, no power structures. 20-something men shuffle in like 24 of them. This time range from Kyle, our 21-year-old summer intern, wide-eyed, terrified, needs the internship credit to graduate all the way to Marcus. Late 50s CFO, looks like he's been tired since the Bush administration. Vibe is pure confusion mixed with anxiety. They're whispering to each other, is this layoffs? Did the Luna Loop account tank? Did someone get caught doing something? I walk in wearing an all-white linen suit because symbolism matters, holding a chunky crystal wand, like I'm about to cleanse their sins out of the carpet stand in the middle of the circle. Gentlemen, I say, calm voice commanding the tone I use when I'm about to ruin someone's day, but call it growth. Hush Bloom is evolving. We've tolerated subtle aggression for too long. Mansplaining, gaslighting, emotional negligence, the tyranny of logic over human connection. It ends today. Denise starts handing out the packets. Thick stapled feels like a college syllabus. I watch them read. The reactions are honestly incredible. Todd, lead data guy. His jaw drops so hard it's like gravity doubled. Nate goes bright red in the face. Marcus puts on his reading glasses, starts flipping pages faster and faster, like he's looking for the prank clause. Marcus looks up over the frames. Ava, tone, flat. Is this a joke? He taps the page. Clause 12. Mandatory apology sessions. Any perceived slight requires a formal public apology. I manage finance. I reject expense reports every day. Am I supposed to apologize for doing my job? I don't blink. If you're rejecting them without empathy, Marcus, yes. It's not about what you do. It's how you do it. Tone is violence. Nate finally speaks up, voice shaky like he's fighting himself, not to sound aggressive. Clause 4. I have to count to 3 before I answer a question? I nod, like this is the most normal thing on earth. To ensure you're not interrupting the thought process of your female colleagues, it's called active listening. You should try it. Silence drops like a wet blanket. Thick tense, you can feel the testosterone trying to crawl out through their pores. Todd raises his hand, actually raises his hand, like a third grader, almost makes me laugh again. Yes, Todd? He's reading from the page now. Clause 15. Waiver of right to report gender-based disciplinary action to external bodies. He looks up. Ava, this is telling us to sign away our civil rights. This is illegal. I harden my stare. Take one step closer, slow, deliberate. It's asking you to commit to the family. We handle issues in-house. If you have a problem prioritizing women's safety, Todd, maybe you don't belong here. The door is open. If you stay, you sign. Deadline is 3 p.m. I leave the room, let them marinate in it. Go back to my office, pull up the security camera feed, because transparency is important. Just my kind. They're arguing immediately. Marcus is shaking his head, stabbing the paper with his finger. I can't hear him, but I can read lips well enough. She's lost her mind. Nate looks like he wants to punch a wall, toxic masculinity on full display. Kyle looks like he's about to throw up into a beanbag. Kyle is obviously the weak link, young broke desperate. I watch him pick up the pen first, and I smile because once the kid folds, the rest crumble dominoes one by one. Todd signs, he's got a baby on the way. Needs the health insurance, Nate signs, mortgage, child support, whatever mess he built for himself. Marcus holds out the longest, just sits there staring at the pages for a solid 10 minutes, like he's trying to will them into evaporating. Then he pulls out a fancy pen, not a regular pen, one of those expensive I have money and regret. Pen signs with this dramatic flourish, then looks straight into the security camera, dead on, like he knows I'm watching. I get a little chill, but still. I won. Denise brings me the stack hands full of signed surrender papers. I take them like trophies, lock them in my safe, turn to my little rescue dog curled up on the couch. History, I whisper. We just made history. First week after office feels transformed, quiet like a library. Sales pit isn't manic anymore. Dev corner isn't loud anymore. No more arguments about spaghetti code. I walk the aisles smiling at the men. They don't smile back. They look down. Avoid eye contact. Submissive. Respectful. I love it. Productivity feels different. Meetings run longer, softer, slower. Wednesday status. Sync. Maya starts pitching a new concept for Luna Loop. Again, Maya's kind of spiraling, starts rambling about the lunar cycle, then somehow connects it to heavy metal toxicity and energetic inflammation. Normally, Ray would cut in and talk. Budget. Ray is sitting perfectly still. Hands folded, eyes locked on one tiny spot on the wall, like he's dissociating on purpose. Maya goes for a full 20 minutes. No one interrupts. She finally runs out of oxygen and stops. So, thoughts? She asks. All hopeful silence, 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. I glance at my watch, nice clean adherence to the pause rule. Ray finally speaks. Thank you for sharing your truth, Maya, he says, monotone face, blank. It sounds very expensive, but if that's where the creative spirit is flowing, finance will not block that channel. Maya lights up like a kid on Christmas. Oh my God, thank you. Ray, I feel so supported right now. I frown a little. Ray didn't push back on budget at all. We're already tight for Q3, but he's following protocol, collaborative prioritization, I remind myself. Female vision leads. This is literally what I wanted. This is progress, and then the malicious compliance starts. Phase 1, the machine, week 2. I'm in the break room fighting with our 10,800 Swiss dollars espresso monster. It's blinking some error code about a pressure valve, steam hissing right into my face like it hates women. Ethan walks in. Ethan is the data guy. Same polo shirt energy as always. Only person who ever reads manuals. He absolutely knows what's wrong. He sees me struggling, pauses, pours himself a glass of tap water, turns to leave. Ethan, I say. He stops like an NPC waiting for dialogue. Yes, Ava. Do you know how to fix this? Yes. Can you fix it? He doesn't move. Clause 8, he says, voice flat as drywall. Male employees shall not assume incompetence or seize technical tasks unless explicitly requested to avoid reinforcing savior dynamics. I assumed you were exploring the machine's functionality on your own terms. I didn't want to mansplain steam mechanics at you. I can feel a vein in my forehead start doing push-ups. My teeth grind. I am explicitly asking you now. Fix it, he tilts his head. Is that a formal request for assistance? I want to throw the wand at his face. Yes. Okay, he steps forward, twists one knob, the hissing stops, instantly takes maybe 2 seconds. Done, he steps back. I hope I didn't encroach on your space. And he just leaves. I stand there shaking with anger. He followed the rules, but he did it at me. It feels aggressive, but I can't punish obedience. I make myself a shot anyway. It tastes bitter. Phase 2, the server crash, week 3, actual crisis hits. Our server cluster goes down the main site for our biggest client, Meridian Dynamics, is 404ing straight up dead. Every minute down is thousands of dollars evaporating. I sprint to the IT pit. It's darker than the rest of the office, fewer windows. Shocker, the guys are just sitting there, screens black. Ethan, Brandon the intern, and Derek the lead dev. They're sipping sparkling water like they're at a spa. Why is the site down? I yell. Derek doesn't even flinch. Server crash, he says calmly. Then reboot it, I snap. Reroute traffic. We can't, Derek says. Why the hell not? He gestures at a printed page taped near the monitors. Reboot protocol requires root access. And the updated security policy you signed last week, Clause 10, states any action that alters the fundamental state of the shared digital environment must be approved by a female leadership member. To prevent unilateral male decision-making, I feel my brain stutter. Send the ticket to HR, Ethan adds, like he's reading whether HR is in Pilates. I shout. We are waiting for approval, Derek says, shrugging. We didn't want to act unilaterally. That would be patriarchal. I'm standing right here, telling you to do it. Ethan doesn't even look up. We need it in writing. Clause 10, subsection B. Verbal orders can be interpreted as pressure and are invalid. All approvals must be documented. I yank out my phone. Hands shaking, type the fastest email of my life. Approved. Fix the server immediately. Do it now. Send it to the whole ET group. Derek refreshes his inbox, waits a beat. Received, he says. Types one command, screens light up, site, pops back like it was never a problem. I stare at the uptime dashboard. We were down for 52 minutes, I whisper. That's a breach of the SLA. Derek just looks at me, calm as a monk. We followed the respect agreement. We respected the process, Ava. I walk away feeling weirdly dizzy. They're sabotaging me using my own language, but I can't say that out loud because technically they're perfect. Phase 3, the sales implosion. Week 4, business is bleeding. Meridian is furious about the downtime, puts us on probation. Maya's moon cycle campaign launches, it goes viral. Not in the fun way. It's getting roasted everywhere for pseudoscience nonsense. People making memes of screaming waves. Sales are basically zero. I call a meeting with Nate from sales. He walks in with a notepad, sits like he's in confession. Nate, talk to me. Why haven't we closed the BioPulse deal? He sighs. It was a lunch meeting. And the client, mister. Bradley is old school. Okay. He made a joke. My stomach drops. What kind of joke? A wife joke, Nate says. Something about how much she spends. I roll my eyes so hard it hurts. Gross. Yeah, so, Nate keeps going. Normally I do a fake laugh, keep rapport. But the agreement, Clause 3, says we actively dismantle patriarchal narratives in professional settings. My blood turns to ice, so I lectured him. I just stare. You lectured a potential $420,000 client. He nods, like proud. I told him his humor was rooted in economic misogyny, and I couldn't be a bystander. He walked out. He literally threw his napkin on the table and left. Nate looks at me with big innocent eyes. Did I do the right thing, Ava? I felt like an ally. I feel a migraine bloom behind my left eye, sharp stabbing pain. He's doing this on purpose, I know it, but I can't prove it because he followed the rules exactly. Get out, I whisper. Just get out. The escalation I need control back. I can feel power slipping through my fingers. The men are winning by obeying me. I need an example. I need to show them. Malicious compliance is still rebellion. I start prowling the office looking for a slip. Anything I find. Brandon, the intern in the supply closet, talking to Chloe. Junior designer, he's handing Chloe a box of heavy printer paper. Hear Brandon in that eager intern voice. I got it, Chloe. Don't worry, it's heavy. Chloe laughs. Thanks, you guys are lifesavers. Brandon smiles. No problem, happy to help. Oh, got him. Brandon, I bark. He jumps like I just fired a gun. Drops the box. The paper ring splits open reams, explode everywhere like confetti. Chloe flinches. Brandon goes pale. I step closer. Ava, Did I just see you taking physical labor away from a female colleague? He blinks. What? No, I was just helping. You assumed she was too weak to carry a box of paper. That's benevolent misogyny. I lean in, can practically smell the fear, sweat. And Chloe called you guys, and you accepted it. You didn't correct her. You allowed gender-erasing language to stand unchallenged. Brandon's eyes go glossy. Ava, please! It's just paper. It's symbolic. I snap, voice loud enough to bounce off the shelves. This is how systems persist. You are fired, effective immediately. Pack your things. Brandon starts crying, like actual crying, hands shaking. My credits. I won't graduate. My scholarship depends on this. I feel nothing in the moment, just righteous heat. Should have thought of that before you helped perpetuate the patriarchy. Brandon opens his mouth again. I cut him off. Security. 2 guards show up. Both women, obviously they escort him out, while he's still sniffling. Chloe looks horrified. Ava, I asked him to help. Don't defend him, Chloe. That's Stockholm Syndrome with a cute font. I storm back to my office, slam the door, fire off a company-wide Slack. Brandon has been let go for repeated violations of the Interpersonal Equity and Respect Agreement. Let this be a reminder. We do not compromise on our values. Send feel powerful for about 8 minutes. Then the crash hits 3 days later. Tuesday I come in, late, already irritated. The whole office feels off, too quiet. Not the healed quiet, the everyone knows something quiet. Denise is standing outside my door. She looks gray, like she hasn't slept since the meeting. Ava, she whispers, we have a problem. I groan. What now? The espresso machine revenge-coded itself again? She holds out a thick envelope, courier delivery, real law firm, letterhead, Harper, Klein, and Bishop, biggest labor firm in Austin. I rip it open. My stomach drops as I skim. Class action complaint. Plaintiff, Brandon Carter. Our intern, co-plaintiffs, Ethan, Ray, Nate. Derek, basically every man still employed here. The whole basement crew charges keep going. Title VII, gender discrimination, hostile work environment, retaliation, constructive discharge, coercion, into unlawful employment, contracts, Texas labor, code, citations, and a bunch of federal stuff I pretend not to recognize. I scoff and toss the papers on my desk like they're junk mail. They can't sue. Clause 7. They waived external action. Denise looks at me like I'm a child, holding a fork near an outlet. Ava, she swallows. Corporate counsel just called. They resigned. I blink. What? They quit. They said we're unrepresentable. My throat tightens. Denise keeps going, gentle like she's delivering bad news to a hospice patient. You can't make employees waive civil rights in an internal document. It proves intent. The agreement is evidence. And they have recordings. My blood goes cold. Recordings? Denise nods. Brandon recorded his termination. Ethan recorded the server incident. Ray recorded the budget meeting. They have hours. You telling them to ignore data. You firing an intern over a box of paper. It's all uploaded. There's a website. I snatch my laptop, hands suddenly, not steady type. The URL from the complaint page loads, and my soul exits my body. It's edited, clean cuts, captions, timestamps, clips of my voice, my exact words, me sounding insane and cruel and smug. Tone is violence. Let the women hold the space. You are fired. Effective immediately. The site's view counter is spinning like a slot machine. Millions. Reddit front page r/facepalm r/legal. Advice r/anti-work. Headlines everywhere. Woke CEO invents illegal gender contract. Handmaid's Tale for men. Intern fired for carrying paper. Most illegal HR document ever. Twitter clips are everywhere. People doing reaction videos. Lawyers stitching my audio and laughing. My phone starts ringing nonstop. Unknown numbers. Clients press. Then it's the board I answer because I'm not a coward. Zoom pops up, camera on. I force my face, neutral, fix my hair, sit up straight on the screen. Is Marlene board chair. My mentor, the woman who wrote my first check when this company was just a deck in a dream. Next to her is Glenn investor guy smiling the way sharks smile, and then Ray is there too, in his home office wearing a suit, like he's already at my funeral. Marlene speaks first, voice like ice water. Ava. We've reviewed the situation. The reputational damage is catastrophic. Meridian Dynamics has terminated our contract. Luna Loop is threatening a negligent suit for brand harm. We're facing a class action in excess of $12 million. I try to talk fast. I was fixing the culture. My voice comes out shrill, thin, pathetic. I was dismantling patriarchy. Glenn cuts in. You were dismantling the company. You created a segregationist regime. You bullied staff into signing unlawful terms. You ignored fiduciary duty for ideology. Marlene doesn't even blink. The board has voted. You are removed as CEO, effective immediately, for cause, no severance. I actually gasp like a cartoon. You can't. This is my baby. I built this. Marlene's expression doesn't change. You broke it. We are appointing an interim CEO to handle the crisis. She turns slightly, like introducing a guest speaker. Ray. My eyes snap to Ray's little Zoom box. He smiles, not warm, not triumphant, just cold and calculated. Thank you. Marlene, Ray says calm as ever. My first act will be to rescind the agreement, rehire Brandon, and begin settlement discussions with staff. We'll return to data-driven marketing. Logic will return to hush bloom. Something breaks in me. Rage, betrayal, humiliation, all at once. Ray, you traitor, I scream. I empowered you. Ray doesn't raise his voice, doesn't even look emotional. You silenced us, Ava. He pauses. Like he's enjoying it. And silence is a great place to plan. Goodbye screen goes black. My Zoom kicks me out. My email signs me out. My Slack boots me. Like I never existed. I hear a soft click from the ceiling. The smart lights in my office shut off. Literally, I'm sitting in the dark with my stupid moss wall and my stupid crystal wand. And for the first time in years, I feel small. Aftermath hits. Fast. Lawsuit doesn't just hit the company, it punches through. They go after me personally. Gross negligence, intentional discrimination, all the words that make banks panic, accounts frozen, cards declined. My electric SUV gets repossessed out of my driveway, like a public execution. My Hill Country Vineyard retreat suddenly isn't mine anymore. Landlord evicts me, no money, no leverage, no friends willing to answer calls. Industry turns on me overnight. No one wants the respect contract lady anywhere near their brand. I move into a studio apartment on the edge of San Antonio. Thin walls, neighbors screaming, sell my designer clothes on apps for ramen money, sell my watches, sell my stupid linen suits. 6 months later, I finally get a job, barista at a hipster coffee shop, minimum wage, plus tips. Wear a green apron that smells like oat milk. Name tag says, Ava in block letters. Tuesday rainy. Slow day bell. Over the door, Jingle's group of guys walk in suits, laughing, confident, and my stomach instantly drops. It's the old sales crew. Nate is there, Ethan is there, and Brandon. Brandon looks great new haircut, nice shoes, expensive watch on his wrist, like he's already leveled up past me. They don't see me right away. They're talking loud, happy celebrating a record quarter. To Ray and that bonus structure, Nate says. They all laugh, they step up to the counter, and Brandon finally looks up, locks eyes with me. He freezes his smile, just drains away. I want the floor to open and swallow me whole. Hey, Brandon, I whisper. My voice barely works. He looks at the apron, looks at my name tag, then back at my face. I brace myself, waiting for mockery, waiting for him to quote the agreement back at me, waiting for revenge, but he doesn't. He just looks sad pity, the worst possible emotion. "Hey, Ava," he says softly, "can I get a latte? Oat milk?" "Sure." I make it hands shaking so bad, I spill milk on the counter. I wipe it too fast. My fingers fumble the lid. I slide the cup over. "That'll be $7.25. He taps his card, then reaches into his wallet, pulls out a 20, drops it into the tip jar like it weighs nothing. "Keep it," he says. "Good luck, Ava," and they walk away already, laughing again within seconds, talking about code quotas, pipeline, the machinery of the world, running smooth. Without me, I stare at that 20 in the jar. It's more than I made in the last hour. I stand there in my apron, in my tiny life, and it hits me in the gut. I was never the hero here.